From 1915 to 1934, Haiti was occupied by the U.S. military. During the despotic Duvalier dictatorship and the junta regimes that followed, the Haitian military, created by an act of the U.S. Congress, was used to control and terrorize its own people into submission. A brief moment of hope came when Jean Aristide swept the elections in 1994, vowing to make Haitians from absolute misery to dignified poverty. But the dream was short-lived. After 7 months of power, Aristide was ousted in a bloody coup, forced into exile. Another coup took place in 2004. This time, Aristide said he was kidnapped by the CIA. Both sides, he was replaced by the current president, René Préval. With most of the political institutions of Haiti completely shattered by the earthquake, it seems only time can tell what twisted fate lies in store for the people of Haiti.
Welcome back. Now the question is, all the things you've heard and all the people you've heard from Mr. Chavez and myself included, are we being a little bit cynical and more than a little paranoid? Is this really what's going on the ground in Haiti? Well, to find out, I'm now joined by Brian Concannon. He's the director of the Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti. Now, Brian, I've been reading what you wrote on the net about why half of Haiti's population was centered around the capital Port-au-Prince when the earthquake struck. And I'd like you, first of all, to share that with us.
There's been a specific migration over the last 30 years that has really been forced as a result of policies implemented by both Haitian and foreign governments. There was a decision made in the 80s that Haiti's economic future lay in assembly manufacture plants. And in order to promote that future, there was a concerted effort to create a captive labor force in Port-au-Prince through depopulating the countryside.
Okay, so you mentioned policies of foreign governments and institutes, but name some names. Which foreign governments are you talking about, and exactly which institutions?
Well, the policies were implemented somewhat by the Haitian governments, but also by the World Bank, by the IMF, by the United States, France, Canada, the governments that have a large influence in Haiti. And they did it by, some of them were imposed directly by the outside governments or institutions. For instance, the United States gives aid in a way that hurts farmers by distributing food aid at a time when farmers need to sell their crops. And there are studies done by USAID-funded groups that demonstrate that this does create hunger instead of fighting hunger in the medium and long term.
Okay, now Brian, before speaking with you on the show, we've been taking a look at the history of Haiti, and it strikes me, I'm sure it strikes a lot of other people, that in one way or the other, Haiti's being punished. Is that the case? And if so, punished for what?
Haiti has always been punished for being a bad example of something. And certainly in 1804, it was a bad example of freed slaves and of people of African descent actually running their own country. And it was an explicit part of U.S. foreign policy that our country could not let Haiti succeed. And I think that has certainly followed through in our relations over the last 200 years. More recently, Haiti's been a bad example of a country that is challenging the economic orthodoxies, especially the orthodoxy of smaller government and unrestrained predatory large business. I think that it is also a bad example of insisting on a grassroots popular democracy.
Okay, now, Brian, this may sound like a conspiracy theory, but I'd like you to just clarify this for all of us here. The Heritage Foundation report. There are concerns being raised that some people, as amazing as this sounds, are going to exploit the Haiti disaster for their own ends. Now, how exactly does that work?
I think a lot of people are looking, and this ties in with the Heritage Foundation announcement that you referred to, that there are a lot of people who are seeing this as an opportunity to continue reforms in Haiti to advance their particular economic ideology. I think that includes, well, one concrete step in that direction is the International Monetary Fund, which offered Haiti $100 million in aid, but that had to be a loan. And there weren't the details of that loan were not, the loan offer were not released, but typically IMF loans carry conditionalities requiring reforms in the country's government. And it's particularly dangerous to make an offer like that, because any offer of money is really an offer that Haiti can't refuse now, and the government doesn't have the ability to negotiate at arm's length over the terms of a deal. It basically has to take whatever it can get, and so I'm afraid that that's a kind of a backdoor way of making changes in Haiti's economy that neither the government nor the people would like. Other things that might come on is more pressure for more privatization of basic government services. The telephone company, and it had actually been announced the telephone company was finally being sold after over a 15-year tug-of-war over privatization. That the privatization was actually announced a day or two before the hurricane, and I expect that there'll be more pressure for more privatizations, including the airport, including the port facilities. And the airport and the port facilities, the privatization may in fact be advanced by the earthquake response, because already the U.S. government has taken over the airport, so it's out of the Haitian government's hands.
Okay, so Brian, finally, and this is a very simple and possibly quite a naive question, but why Haiti? There's no natural resources left. There's not very much strategic value left anymore now that the Cold War is over. So why single out Haiti? Why not just leave Haiti alone?
That's a question I've been asking in the 15 years that I've been working on Haiti, and I have a few different ways of answering it. I think the most likely one is just this idea that Haiti continues to be a bad example, because in fact there isn't a payoff. I mean, there's a payoff at a small level, in the sense that rice exporters make a lot of money selling money to Haiti, or selling rice to Haiti, and they have more influence with the U.S. government than I would, and 100 other human rights lawyers. So I think at some level it's very small individual politics that and individuals with political influence that are able to influence policy. But I think that there is no payoff to United States as a whole, and in fact it's extremely expensive for us, because we're continually sending soldiers, which are very expensive, to Haiti. We're dealing with refugee problems. We deal with drug problems that are facilitated by Haiti's instability, and so the cost to a U.S. taxpayer of Haitian policy, of our policy to Haiti, is actually fairly high, and unnecessarily high, and it ends up hurting U.S. taxpayers. But more important, it hurts Haitians who don't need anything else to be hurt. But I think Haiti does things like it makes the demand for restitution from France for its independence debt, and other countries aren't willing to do that, but Haitians are pretty courageous, and they pay the price for that.
So at the end of the day, it's all about dollars and domination, is that all?
And economic ideology. And I think you can't possibly explain Haiti's relationship with the international community without reference to race. It was explicit in the early years of Haiti's existence. I think it's implicit now. I think that the way that the media has been covering the earthquake story, for example, with the almost hysterical shouting that the riots are coming, when there's been no evidence that the riots are coming, I think is hard to explain without reference to the racist history of relations with Haiti and reporting on Haiti.
Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and in closing, I'd just like to say I'm Zarrar Khuhro, and this was Counterspin.